Hey everybody, what we're going to be tying today is a little Smoky Mountain pattern called the Renegade. It's a dry fly pattern that everybody should have 3 or 4 in their box for some of those days where the normal patterns don't work. You look for something, a little variation maybe to fool the trout. It's a real simple little tie, and it can be tied from anywhere from a 14 down to a 20. I like the size 18, but for the purpose of this class we're going to be using a 16. Just a little easier to tie. So what we're going to have is a lightning strike hook, a dry fly hook, size 16. I'm using uni thread, 8/0, okay, black. Now you could also use brown or olive. I'm going to use some peacock herl. Okay. Then we're going to be using two different types of dry fly hackle. One's a white, okay, size to the hook, and then on the tail end of the fly we're going to have a brown feather. So let's get to tying. Now of course the first thing we're going to do is start our thread on the hook and just start just a fourth of the way back and just kind of go back before you either snip it or just pull it off. I'm going to take that all the way back to the barb. At this point what we're going to do is we're going to take our brown hackle feather, we're going to strip a little bit off the ends of this thing so we get a little purchase here. I'm just going to tie this baby in. Just like that, and come back to basically where the barb is. Right, just about like that. Now we're going to tie in take a couple peacock herl feathers or herls, and we're going to snip them, just kind of even them up, get down to the good part of the herl, and we're just going to tie this in. Okay, just like that. Go all the way back behind the eye of the hook, and we're going to come back. And what we're going to do is we're going to just basically come back all the way to the barb, and then we're going to go back up maybe a fourth of the hook. Okay, about like that. We're going to tie, make 3 or 4 wraps with this peacock herl, just like that. Kind of tie that down, just secure it. A couple wraps. Get many more than that, you tend to end up cutting the herl. So I'm going to come back on this side of it. Now we're going to take the brown hackle and make 3 or 4 wraps with this, right over that peacock herl. And if you get 5, it doesn't really matter. Just make it a little dense. There we go. So we got what we want here. Come over between the herl and the hackle, and we're just going to secure that just like that. 2 wraps, maybe 3, and come on this side of that peacock herl and just tie it down right there. Then we're going to snip this. There, just like that. Now we're going to take the thread, we're going to advance it to maybe another half the hook. Basically it's about a quarter of the hook behind the eye. Okay, I'm going to take this peacock herl, and if you want to, you can either make a rope out of it, or you can take and actually use a little Sally Hansen's, which we're going to do here. And I'm just going to coat the hook with it. And what that's going to do is going to secure that peacock herl a little bit. So when we tie it around, and it just tends to help the longevity of the fly. It will make it last just a little bit longer when the trout start chewing on it. So then what we're going to do is just going to take this, and we're going to just wrap peacock herl, making a body with it, right down to about here. Oh, let's go one more. There we go. And we'll come back the thread just a little bit. And what we're going to do is going to tie this down right here. just like that. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come up here just a little ways. Going to make a couple more wraps with a peacock curl to just behind the eye of the hook. And what that's going to do is just going to coat the hook with that herl, and you'll see in just a minute what we're up to here. I'm going to come over, I'm going to secure it right here, right behind the eye. Just going to tie that off. Then we're going to take our white hackle, just like this. I'm going to take and we're going to come back to a fourth of the way, just like that. Tie that in just like that. Adjust the barb on that so it's not going to get in your eye. Alright, and you just come 3 or 4 wraps right here. Got that secured. Okay. 3 wraps behind. 1 in front just to pinch it off. Trim that down. Trim some of these hoodats out of here before we tie it off. There we go. Okay. Now all that'll be left is the whip finish. And by golly, we'll be done. Let's see, let's get a little more thread here. There we go. Okay, let's trim that off. I'll just make sure we got access to the eye right here. There we go. All right, there you go. The Renegade. Good little pattern for some kind of slow day. Sometimes it's just a good pattern, period. So, enjoy.